Hello there everyone. Today we're going to learn about laws of exponents. So what is laws of exponents? Laws of exponents simply says when are we going to add, subtract, multiply or divide the exponents of a certain variable, constant or both. So we're going to start with additions of exponents. Let's get started. Alright, law 1 says we're going to add the exponents. So addition of exponents. For this law, we have to satisfy certain conditions, and that is we have a to the m multiplied by a to the n will give us a whose exponent we're going to add them, m plus n. This can only be done if and only if the two bases of these factors are the same. So let's have an example. Say we have x to the fourth multiplied by x squared. This will simply give us x4 plus 2, which is equal to x to the exponent of 6. So this is for variables. If we have constants, say 2 cubes multiplied by 2 squared, since the bases are the same, we simply add the exponents. So it's going to be 2, 3 plus 2, we have 2 to the fifth. However, since this is a constant, we need to evaluate this further, meaning what will be the value of 2 whose exponent is 5. So it's simply like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 and times 2. You have to multiply 2 by itself 5 times, and that will give us a product of 32. So if it's a constant, you have an exact value, but if it's a variable, we just add the exponent if and only if the bases of the two factors are the same. Now what about if we have a combination of a constant and variables? Let's say we have 3 cubed x squared multiplied by 3 and a variable of x to the 6. Okay? What will be our answer here? So let's consider first the constant. You have 3, they have the same base here. So it's going to be 3 plus 1. If a constant does not have an exponent, it is understood to have an exponent of 1 here. So it's going to be 3 plus 1. And then we have to multiply this by the variable. Since we have the same base here, you say now x2 plus 6. So what will be our answer here? 3 to the 4th multiplied by x to the 8th. Now again, this is a constant. We can evaluate the value of this further. So 3 to the 4th would mean 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And that will give us 81. And then just multiply it with x to the 8th. Just affix it here. Your final answer now is 81x to the 8th power. Okay? And now, this is for law 1. For law 2, we have now the opposite of operation. Here we have addition of exponent, and the opposite of addition is simply subtraction. So we have now subtraction of exponents. In law 1, we have operations like multiplication, and the opposite of multiplication is nothing but division. So let's have an example. So we have a to the m all over, that's division, a to the n will simply give us a, your m exponents here, minus the exponent here. Again, the condition is both bases must be the same. Okay, so this is our formula. So we have now an example of, let's say, x to the 9, and we have now, let's say, x to the 6. So since we know that we have two same bases here, we simply subtract their exponent, 9 minus 6. Remember, your minuend will always be your numerator and your subtrahend will be your denominator. So the answer here now is x cubed. That will be your answer. But what if the exponents of these two parts here, the numerator and the denominators, becomes reversed, meaning the numerator's exponent is less than that of the denominator. Let's say, let's use another variable y cubed all over y to the fifth. You will notice that the exponent in the denominator of this variable y is greater than that of the numerator. So what do? We say y 3 minus 5. This will surely give us a negative exponent. So y negative 2. Okay, so to make this positive, we simply put this in the negative. So it's going to be y 1 over y squared. Or in simple terms, we simply subtract them. Then we put the variable with exponent of 2 where the bigger exponent of the variable is placed. So in this case, your y to the fifth is in the denominator. That is why your final answer, your y, is in the denominator. Let's have another example. Say we have fraction like 10x to the 7 all over 15x squared. So what we're going to do here is we first simplify the constant if these two numbers or if the fraction is reducible to lowest term. Otherwise, you just copy it as is. In this case, we can reduce 10 over 15 into lowest term by dividing both numerator and denominator by 5. So let's do it. 10 divided by 5 will give you 2 all over 15 divided by 5 will give you 3. Then after that, we work on the variables. So we have the numerator is x to the 7, which is greater than the denominator. So we will know that your variable here will be in the numerator and not the denominator. So 7 minus 2 will give you x to the fifth. Remember, if the fraction here is reducible to lowest term, that's the only time that we divide this numerator and denominator by a common number. If not, then we just copy the fraction as is. So our next topic will be the multiplication and division of exponents.